Hi, welcome back to the Backpacker Coach. And today we're going to do something a little different. So I know usually we talk about backpacking stuff, but for me, backpacking stuff kind of deals with photography and video kind of deal with having to put stuff on computers. And eventually I need to get a new computer. And so I've started buying new parts to build a new computer. And so my first thing that I bought was this case. And it's the Cool Master TD500. And when I bought the case, I kind of realized that it doesn't have much airflow in the front. It has three 120 millimeter fans in the front, but if you can see, the only airflow is these little tiny slits on the side right here, and that is it. So I'm like, well, doing a lot of research and finding out that a lot of people, they modify their cases to let in more air. And so I found a guy that kind of helps do that kind of stuff. And this guy's name, I'll try to link this guy in the description stuff below. But his stuff was mnpctech.com, and he had some good videos, and he also had a free template. You can kind of see it. I'm not sure if you can see it all that well, but anyway, these templates of like 120 millimeter fans, 140 millimeter fans, 92 millimeter fans, I think 82 millimeter fans. Anyway, you can download those, and then you can figure out how to modify your case. Now, mine was a little different than what he was doing. My first problem was the 120 millimeter fan fits great here, but doesn't fit really good here because it actually goes just past the edge of this little shroud thing. So it actually goes past it. So I have to go smaller, and then I'm going to have to kind of make a little bit of the hole a little bit bigger by using some smaller hole saws. So what I'm going to do here is I'll take this off. What I did is I printed out some of the templates. I taped them on there just to make sure and so you can see them. And then I put this back on, and then as best as I could, I kind of had to shine a light in there and try to find the center point of each one of those fans. And then once I did that, now the next thing to do is to drill holes in each one of these spots. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to drill holes, and then once I do get the holes drilled, I have some special mesh that we're going to put. They're actually very large holes. I decided to go with the large hole stuff instead of the small holes, just because I'd like to have a lot of airflow going through. And I'm going to just glue those in those three holes. So that's generally what I need to do. I wanted to have a lot more airflow, and that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. So welcome back to my messy garage. So first we're going to drill some pilot holes, and then we're going to use this 4.5 inch hole saw, and I'm going to use this 3.5 inch hole saw for the middle one. So that's the idea. But first I've got to drill some pilot holes. So I took a little tiny my little marking tool that supposed to put a little hole, or a little spot where you're supposed to start, and I marked those already. third one was really hard to put in there because that's the logo was on the bottom on that one. So it was hard to see where to put the mark, or so I couldn't see it very well. All right. Let's see how that's going to work. All right. All right. Now comes for the scary part. There's the part of no return. So we've got our hole saw attached to the drill. This is the 4.5 inch hole saw, which is equal to 120 millimeters fan size. So here we go. This is going to be either a huge disaster or this will be amazing. Now, all I trick is to try to line up that hole. There we go. We're on the hole. Alrighty. There goes nothing. There's one. Now we'll do this one down here. Hold down everything. There we go. All right, so now we've got the 3.5 inch hole saw, and we're going to finish off this last one, and then we just have to make some holes on the sides. Still not exactly sure how we're going to do that, but we'll figure it out. Deep too fast there. So now I think I should be able to break off most of these little tiny pieces and stuff. It looks actually not bad. I'll have to decide whether I might go in with my Dremel tool now and maybe soften up the edges maybe, but I just have to break off all the little tiny pieces of plastic, which actually it did a pretty good clean. It's pretty clean. It's not bad. It's actually a little not as clean on the back side, but which I'm glad that I did it that way. I wasn't sure which direction or which side was going to be the cleanest, but I just have to pull off all that junk, wash all the dust off, and it looks like I still might come in with a Dremel and clean it up maybe a little bit, maybe in a couple little spots. But anyway, that is our 3 holes, and now I'm gonna probably try to see if I can maybe add some little extra holes to the side over here so we get a little bit bigger, so we're close to the 120 millimeter as far as I can, but we'll do what I can and we'll see how close we were. It looks like I might have been a little off maybe this way on this one, but anyway, it should be hopefully close enough for government work anyway, and we'll see how that turned out. We'll set it on the case and we'll see where we were. It's one of those things that's just difficult to be able to see how far, to line it up and to get it straight. It's kind of a gamble, but I think it should turn out all right. And we'll have a lot more air than these little tiny spots on the side, because that's just ridiculous. I've heard from other people that you get almost like a 13-degree difference with being able to have actual holes in the front as opposed to just the little tiny slits on the side. So I'm excited to see how that works, and I'll show you the next part. Those should be coming in soon. All right. So what I decided on is using a 5/16 drill bit. That's this guy here, and I'm just going to go around this outer part with a bunch of more holes. That's, I think, the best, as opposed to trying to cut out large pieces. So I'm just going to try to make a bunch of holes going around the whole thing, and we'll see how this goes. I have to do some pilot holes. All right, got to do some pilot holes, because those are not sharp enough. And they do actually make plastic drill bits. They're designed specifically for cutting through plastic, and so they're much sharper, which is pretty cool. But I didn't want to spend the extra $24. And so I'm not pushing very hard to make sure I don't crack the plastic, because that's one of the things when it's a dull blade like that and it doesn't cut through, I guess it can break the plastic sometimes. But anyway, seems that that's all right. Doing it, just don't push very hard, and it'll be all right. And I'm gonna have to go back with the Dremel and Dremel some of this. But anyway, I'm just going to go around this whole thing and put holes just like that, and we'll be back when I'm done. So after just doing 2 of these, realizing that how badly it melts each hole, and it comes up so high, these are going to be really hard to clean off, and then it's going to end up probably skipping around and making a mess. So I've decided I'm not going to do those holes. I'm going to try instead, I'm going to use the 3.5 inch, and I'm going to try to cut large chunks out of each spot. That's what we're going to try. And if I cut off my fingers, you're going to see it on YouTube. So here we go. I don't think it's going to work either, because that won't work. So we're screwed. There's nothing to hold it there. So I'm not sure what I want to do. I might have to use a Dremel, and I might Dremel out the whole thing. Just keep going bigger and bigger and bigger until I get to the shape that I want. I think that's our next best bet. Okay guys, got the Dremel. I got this nice little metal piece. This works really well. I've used this on other plastic things that I've wanted to grind down to a nice smooth finish. So I know this works really well. I don't know how well it will work on this kind of plastic, but we will find out. Let's give it a shot and see how much this takes off. Well, that works. It's going to take a while, so I'll turn this off, and I'll see you in a couple years. Alrighty, I did it. Now it's 2025. Alright, well, it did take a little while, but not quite that long. Anyway, see, I got that all Dremeled out, and so they're the same all the way across. Now I just need to go in. I just need to clean up my melted stuff on the back here, and then wash it off. You can see some of the melted parts here. So I just gotta Dremel off some of that. And then I will get back to you when the little special fan shroud things come in. I'll pop those up on the screen and show you. But those should come in soon, and then I'll show you how those are going to look, and hopefully everything comes out all right. So there it is. We got our holes all cut out, and now I just have to wait for the little tiny protectors, and they're I'll show you those when I get those in, and I'm going to glue those onto the back of this. What I was hoping to be able to do was to be able to put them onto to screw them onto the fan parts, but knowing that getting these holes to be exactly perfect was one thing, as well as I wasn't sure how much room there was between the fan and these. And so I think it'll be actually better to attach it to this case anyway. I think it'll look a little better. Because it might have a bit of a hole, otherwise a bit of a gap. So anyway, as soon as those come in, I will put those on, and I'm going to glue those onto the case, onto this part, and this comes off. And then if it does get dusty or whatever, I just pull this front part off, and then I can rinse that off, wipe it out, and then throw it back on. And I'm just going to just a hot glue gun or hot glue those onto each one of those holes. So there we go. And the little tiny fan shrouds, don't cost too much. They're only like $3.90 each. I'll put a description below where I bought those as well. You can buy them from this other guy here that has those templates, but his website is really, really bad. The links don't work properly, the website doesn't work properly, so anyway, hopefully he'll fix that someday. But anyway, I didn't want to go onto his site and buy stuff because it was just too difficult to find, to get back and forth between different pages. So anyway, I found another company that had the same thing, these little fan shroud things, and I bought them from there, and they should work great, and will actually get air into the system, and it'll keep my computer cool once I get it built. Alright, the fan protectors came in. You can see here, this is what they look like. They have really good holes. They're very well painted. They're nice and shiny black. They look really good. I'm very impressed by these. You can see that they have the little, the way they're shaped. They has a little indentation, so you can see how it will fit actually in the fan hole. It should be good. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to hot glue these into the part of the holes of the computer and see how it looks. Okay, this is sped up, but we're going to get the first one in, and then we're going to put the second one in, and then once we're done with the second one, the third one I have to cut a little bit and make it fit because it's a little narrower, but then that's about it. And we'll see how it looks. Alright, there they are. They're all installed. So we have our 3 fan protectors all installed now. We'll get plenty of air to the computer so it won't overheat. With the way this was originally designed, having 3 little tiny baby cutouts on the side is just absolutely ridiculous. There's no way that there's going to get enough air in there to be able to have the temperatures be good inside the computer. So we modified that. There we go. Let me know how you think, what you think, and what it looks like. What do you think? And go ahead and comment below, and I'll leave all the links and stuff of the other stuff that I mentioned, and hopefully catch you next time out there. Hopefully I'll go on a backpacking trip soon, and you'll be able to see those. So catch you next time out there.